This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Moment Long Weekend Monterey Sling, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So as you can see just from the front here, we've got some nice contrasting materials with the ripstop over here and then the plain black fabric over here. We've also got this nice heritage Long Weekend logo with the red sun there that really pops. It kind of reminds you like a 90s JanSport backpack. You're either be into that or you won't, but I think it looks pretty nice. Then we've got these zipper pulls over here on this side with the black paracord-like material and the white speckles, which kind of play into that contrast between these two sections of the pack. And those zippers are YKK. They're very easy to open and close. It's a pretty small pack, but even small YKK zippers have no problem going around these corners here. Just very happy with the materials used so far on this pack. We've got a buckle here on the strap, which is from Woojin. Very snappy, very easy to open and close. It does feel a bit big for the size of this sling. You can see its size in comparison to the main pack here, but it doesn't get in the way. You can't really feel it or anything like that. And as I said, once it's on, it's on. It is a bit loud when you snap it. I'm not sure what you can hear that, but that's very, very minor in comparison. But this sling picks up dust pretty easily. You can see there's like some cat hair on there right now and some dust. I think that's, a lot of black slings in general will do that, but this one I noticed it more so than others that I've tested. So I kind of just left it on there because you can see what it would normally look like when I was bringing it, from my house into work. You're gonna pick up a lot of that material. I did get it off once. I just used a lint roller. And then also once I used, I just took masking tape and I wrapped it around my hand backwards and just batted it. And that got most of the hair as well. So if that bothers you, you'll need to do that. Or if it doesn't, it's just kind of there. It doesn't really bother me. So it is not something that I felt the need to clean off most of the time. So moving on to the strap here, you can see there's no padding or aeration or anything like that, but similar to as I mentioned when I was talking about the buckle here, for the size of this sling, you don't really need it. It's it's not super heavy. You're not really going to be loading pounds and pounds and pounds of stuff inside here. So the lack of padding and aeration wasn't a big thing for me. On super hot days, you might kind of get like a sweat line on your shirt, depending on what you're wearing. But overall, very happy with how the strap performs. There's these little, as I call them a lot, hip huggers on these sides here. They kind of just make it a little bit less awkward where the strap comes in to meet the main pack, and you don't really get that awkward seatbelt effect where sometimes you can just have a strap coming off of it awkwardly depending how you're wearing it, if you like to wear it a certain way. And then we have this little strap keeper here, which works well because the end of the strap has this little tab, so that way that catches it and it's not going to be moving around too much. I kind of wish there was another one because how I have it right now, there's a ton of extra strap there, but that's mostly just for when it's not on. When you're wearing it, that's going to be pulled tight, so you don't have to worry about it. But when you have it just sitting here, it can kind of just go a little bit everywhere. But that's being really, really picky. It did not bother me, but just something that I noticed. So this is how I typically wore the sling on my front like this. It's pretty tight, but I like it because it kind of feels like it's holding onto my body and it's not moving around a ton. And I also still have access to all of the 3 pockets or compartments. The main one, and then if I have film stored in here and I need to reload my film, I can grab that quickly. You can also wear it on your backside, which I think is just as comfortable. But something I noticed is that it feels a little bit tight right now, whereas it didn't really feel tight when I had it on my front. So if you go from front to back, sometimes it can feel like you need to adjust it a little bit. This is fine, but just something to know. So you can also wear it in fanny mode, and it gives you access obviously to all of these compartments once again. You can get into them very easily, and you can kind of see them a bit better because when you have it in crossbody mode, it is kind of right on top of you, so it can be hard to know where stuff is. And if things moved around while you were wearing it, it can be hard to kind of see everything, but you can really see everything nicely because it is a little bit further away. But it does tend to bunch up your clothes a little bit. I don't know if that's just the clothes that I particularly wear, but I did notice that especially in the back, my clothes would get bunched up more than other fannies that I've worn in the past. So first we have this little ripstop pocket here. This is the biggest exterior or secondary pocket we've got. And right now I've just got my wallet stowed in there. This is the Chum's wallet that I'm reviewing right now. If you have a minimalist wallet, it'll fit in there. If you have a bigger wallet, it probably won't. But if you are a film shooter, if you shoot medium format film, you can actually fit film across this way or up and down this way. So it's a good place to stow film, especially if you shoot 120 film. I know a lot of people who wear these things in particular do that, but it is a good quick access pocket, like I said, for your wallet or for other similar sized items. You could throw your headphones or your keys in there too if you wanted to, and it's just a good place to have it, you know, something that you don't necessarily want a little bit of extra protection, because obviously this ripstop is not very thick. You're not really getting a ton of protection there. Not that you're going to be beating this thing up, but just in case you were to drop it or something like that. And something I should note too is you can fit boxed 120 film in here as well. But moving on over to this pocket on right next to it, this does secure with a hook and loop fastener. So it's not, I would say, as secure as the zippered pocket is, but this is a pretty good hook and loop fastener. It didn't pop up when I didn't want it to, but I did have I was wearing a Manchester United jersey and this got stuck to my jersey once, but that was my fault, not the pocket's fault. But just something to note. Right now I've just got our 3D printed model of an AirPods case in there. It's a perfect little spot for an AirPods case if you want quick access to your AirPods case or your AirPods are in there. It's a good place to stow that. You do have a little bit of extra room as well. You can kind of see how much space that's taking up. But you could also fit, if you're a film shooter, 2 rolls of 35mm film in here. And that's depending on the size of the canister it comes in. You can fit the canister in there as well. So nice for the film shooters out there. I know there's quite a bit of you who use these long weekend slings. But overall, very happy with the exterior pockets on this thing. Sometimes when there's exterior pockets on such a small sling, I just feel like they're too small to really do anything. But because these are raised up off of the main pack, you can see they have their own depth, like they're sewn out of the pack. You can really fit quite a bit of gear in them. They kind of have their own feel to them, which I really dig. So the main compartment on this thing is super simple, and I dig that because of the size of this sling. So that zipper, as I said, it's not just, across the top, it kind of curves a little bit, so you get a little bit more access when you open this thing up. You can kind of pop it open pretty wide. So right now in the main area, I've just got my sunglasses stowed in there, a packable water bottle, and then just my pocket knife. But you can see there's quite a bit of open space in there. You can really open this thing to see what you've got inside. The only organization that's inside there is on this back wall here. We've got this liner pocket. I've just got my phone stowed in there right now. I think it's important to note that whatever you throw in there basically becomes your back panel, because there isn't a ton of, there's no padding, but there isn't a ton of thickness here from the materials used. So it's pretty thin, so whatever you put inside there kind of becomes your back panel, and that's gonna rest on your body. So if you put something that was like rounded or oblong, you're going to feel it like just right where you wear it. But something like a phone, or you could even put your passport there or something like that, kind of makes a nice flat back panel and ensures that the pack is still comfortable to wear. But for the rest of the space here, it's just kind of open game. You could fit a camera inside here. You could fit like a Fuji X100 series camera inside here, or if you have like a Ricoh GR series camera, or even just any small point and shoot, you're probably gonna be able to fit it inside here. I had my Konica Big Mini in here and it fit really well, and I could fit a bunch of stuff around it, which I really liked. If you like organization for your gear, there really isn't a ton here, but it's so small that I don't miss it. Like I don't really need a place to put a bunch of things because it's not a huge space. And even if I do load it up completely with stuff and I need to fish around for stuff a little bit, it's not like there's a ton of places for things to hide. If I pull 1 or 2 things out, I can find it. And I mentioned it earlier, but just having the zipper come down that little bit, like if the zipper only came to the top like that, you really wouldn't be able to access the sling as much. So it's a small thing, and maybe I'm overdoing it, but I really like that that comes down as far as it does, because you can really get a good opening on it, especially if you're putting like a camera or something like that in there that you want a bit of a wide berth for it all to fit inside. So overall, very happy with how much I fit inside of here, and just that it has the, I guess, compartmentalization of these front 2 pockets. I don't know that I'd like this main compartment if I didn't have the option to stow gear inside of here as well. There you have it, the Moment Long Weekend Monterey Sling. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.